Hi, William Friedman one more time for the Cross Country Local. And leg 3 has come into sharp relief, and we last left off in Pittsburgh. Now, the way west from Pittsburgh, the way I figured it, and I was wrong, was to the northwest, to Youngstown, up to Cleveland, around the lake, and then either down into Fort Wayne, Indiana, or Cincinnati, Ohio, and then make the way west. What I found is that the transit systems between Pittsburgh and Youngstown, they don't really link up at all. You've got a lot of downtown loops that just don't hook up to each other. Then from there, you can kind of make your way, but you run into other problems later. So I figured that it might be a good idea to head down to Wheeling. And I found out that there is a van pool that goes from the Pittsburgh area to Wheeling. Specifically, what happens is I'm taking the Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania Transit into Pittsburgh, and then I'm not actually getting on the Pittsburgh Mass Transit system. I'm getting on something called the Washington City Transit system that takes me down to Canonsburg. What's in Canonsburg? Not much. A couple of hotels, a park and ride, and that's where the van pool meets up. That goes for about an hour. From Wheeling, do you continue heading south and head down to, say, Louisville, Kentucky, and then start making your way west, or do you start heading west there? Well, there's no good answer. No matter what happens, you're going to run into a disconnect. What I found was the least of the disconnects is continuing on Wheeling's RTA. On the other side of the river is a town called St. Clairsville, Ohio, the home of the Ohio Valley Mall. And that's kind of where the trail ends. There's a 20-mile gap before mass transit picks up again. And here in western Belmont County, Ohio, there's just nothing. There isn't paratransit. There's not a thing that is publicly available transit that's easy to find that'll take you to the next county where magically buses appear. But I do have some good people working on it. The people at the Belmont County Travel Bureau are very much on board with this. They want to help me, and I have every confidence in the world that they'll find a way to get me those 20 miles. And if it all falls through, so I hump it 20 miles with my backpack. I brought a tent and a sleeping bag. If that's the worst thing that goes wrong with this trip, it's going to be an easy trip. On the other side of the line is Guernsey County, and they have a dial-a-ride demand response system called SEAT, S-E-A-T, and I can pick it up right at the Belmont-Guernsey line in a town called Fairview, or what's more likely, the wider spot in the road is Cambridge, Ohio. I think that's like another 20 miles or so down the road. Maybe I'll get a lift as far as Cambridge. But I will get a lift to somewhere in Guernsey County, and from there I can take SEAT all the way to the county line in Zanesville. And from Zanesville, I can pick up the mass transit from Fairfield County, which actually their dial-a-ride service is operated by the largest city in the county. It's called Lancaster, and that will take me to the other end of Fairfield County, a town called Pickerington, a couple of miles away from Reynoldsburg, which is close to a friend of mine who lives in the Columbus area. It's a short jaunt on the COTA system into Columbus proper, and that's where I'll be spending the weekend. Now, alert route warriors will realize that this is my second weekend on the Cross Country Local, and this is my second weekend in a major state university town. Coincidence? The easy part here, and this has really saved me a lot of time, is getting from Columbus to Cincinnati. This is going to be one ride. I love it. This is made possible because there is an intercity bus system in Ohio called Barron's, and it's really just in the Buckeye State and over the line a couple of neighboring states, but it's pretty much an Ohio thing, and it's called Barron's, and it seems like the best way to get from Columbus to Cincinnati. There, I'm going to start running into a little bit more trouble there as I cross into Indiana and downstate Illinois on my way to St. Louis. But I have also made a bunch of friends over the past week in Indiana, and I'm expecting a lot of help. So stay tuned. More on that later. Hope to see you along the route.